Hey, Lisbon and Youth, I think a lot of us are thinking about the future. We're thinking about getting back to normal. Um, I think of Meet the Robinsons and the motto that the family has, keep moving forward. A lot of us, we just want to get to the good times. We want to see success. We don't want to see all the problems and failures that happen all along the way. As we're trying to get back to normal, I think that we really shouldn't be thinking about normal, because really, who liked normal? A lot of people didn't like things before. People lived stressed out lives and all sorts of problems. Why would we want to go back? Why don't we try working towards a new normal in which we come out of this whole experience better? In the Bible, Joseph, his brothers didn't like him. And so they decided they were going to sell him into slavery. As better than the alternative, they were going to kill him. That seems harsh to me. Even if he's a bratty brother, why would you sell him into slavery? So he goes into slavery, and then he's falsely accused and goes into prison. It's going from bad to worse. But it gets better from there. Yeah, he may have been wanting to get back to his old normal, but God had a plan for him in that situation. He had good plans for him. He wasn't going back to the old normal. He was going to a new normal. So Joseph, while he was in prison, God gave him the ability to interpret dreams. And when Pharaoh had a dream that needed to be interpreted, of course, nobody can tell Pharaoh what the dream means, but word got to him that Joseph can interpret dreams. And so Pharaoh has Joseph come, and Joseph, by the power of God, is able to interpret the dream. And he says that there are going to be 7 years of plenty. Your crops are going to do great. There's going to be lots of food. And then there are going to be 7 years of famine. So Joseph says to Pharaoh, you need a really wise person who's going to be able to organize everything and make sure that you are saving up lots of food so that you'll have plenty during the famine. So Pharaoh gets thinking, who is wiser in all of Egypt than the only person that was able to interpret my dream? Joseph, you're the guy. So Joseph becomes number 2 in all of Egypt. He organizes the food. He makes sure that they have lots of food. They actually start selling food to other people that needed food. Some of the people that needed food were Joseph's family. And so they go to Egypt after hearing that they have food there. And little do they know, their little brother that they sold into slavery, he's the one that's in charge of giving them food. God's plan was not for Joseph to go back to the old normal. God's plan for Joseph was to go to a new normal in which he would be able to do such great things for all of Egypt and for his family, including those brothers that sold him into slavery. Don't worry, there were no hard feelings, because Joseph recognized that God had a plan through it all. His brothers intended to harm him, but God had a plan for good. So Joseph, he forgave them. And I think that in this situation where we're in quarantine, we shouldn't be looking to go back to the exact same way that things were before. Most people didn't even seem to be happy before. We should be looking to make the most of our time right now and make the most of this whole experience. That's what God wants. He wants us to make the most of everything. And so as we're looking to the future, let's see how this can be a better normal. God has a plan for you. He has a great future for you. What does he want you to get out of this whole experience? Don't get caught up in the problems and failures in life. Keep looking to the future that God has for you. It doesn't mean that everything is going to be easy, but he does want good things to come in our future. He wants us to live our lives to the fullest. Humans were created as God's masterpiece. He has great plans for us if we embrace his love and forgiveness and the true life that he has to offer us. Let's look for a new normal, a future filled with God's great plans for us.